Sharon Crandall, February series. Today we're going to be talking about some very interesting stuff. So, Sharon, you want to share with us?
Well, I wanted to tell you about my weekend first. I used to do a lot of parties and so on, and then I had other stuff happen. But I'm back doing them. And the other night we did a birthday party for someone, and I read all these faces, and everybody clapped. They loved it, and it was so fun to get back in the saddle and do that. It was really great. So what happened to you this
What a great time. Well, I had no birthdays this weekend, but we definitely did celebrate. I was out across the world. So I went to Bali with some of my teammates, and we went out there, recorded videos, had fun. And one of the guys, which is Cody Weston, you should go check out his face reading. It's on Sharon's YouTube now. He got his face read by Sharon.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stop showing everybody his video. So that's what we did out there.
Yeah. In fact, he walked into the room. I didn't know who he was, and he said, I want you to read his face. And I said, okay, sit down. So that's what we did, and that's how that happened.
The only thing I am upset about is Cody does not fully believe me. Sharon was so accurate, and he does think that I did give her some insight on him.
I hadn't seen him or knew anything about him.
Man, that just shows you how good she is at what she does.
Well, you can learn how to do this too, But anyway, today what we're going to talk about is what kind of a mate do you want? Since it's Valentine's Day this month, we wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. And I wanted to start out by saying it's really a mystery as to what actually invites people to kind of be attracted to another person. We really don't know that. But I do know about some of the traits that can absolutely influence that. And we do, but even scientists, they can't figure that out exactly. They know what happens when you're attracted to someone, and your heart beats and all this kind of stuff. But as far as what attracts people, but we need to mix that up with your thinking, because traits and your culture and the things that you think are perfect sometimes are not. We just think they are. And so that's why we have a brain, so we can actually take some time to look at another person. Because if you don't, you just create a fantasy, and then reality sets in, and there you are, holding the bag. So anyway, one of the traits that I talk about quite a lot is idealism. But idealism is a part of the brain, it's actually right through here, that the more cells you have in that area, the more you picture vividly the perfect thing that you want. Whether it's the perfect car you want, the perfect person, the perfect party that you're going to have, or the perfect trip you're going to have, and you set yourself up for kind of failure in a way, because nothing's that perfect. But so you have to learn how to balance that with what is real or realistic. And so the trait of idealism can really put you off. It can give you some problems. And so always look at people's faults too, because guess what? There's no perfect person. And there's no perfect situation, and there's no perfect relationship. But there's some that's more perfect than others. And so we want to understand that, and what kind of a life you want, and bring that into the picture. I did a lady that I did her profile, and she was very young when she got married, and she married a farmer. And of course it just seemed really nice and so on, but it wasn't. It was terrible, because she hated farming, and she hated being in a small town. She was a big city girl, really, at heart. Well, she had something like 4 or 5 kids, And so they were uprooted and she moved, and it just was terrible. So
wow.
we've got, you've got to look ahead of time what you're going to do. Because if love was enough, there wouldn't be any divorces.
Yeah,
But guess what? There are.
there's a lot. Do you think opposites attract?
Okay, that's a really good question. I have people ask me that a lot.
Yeah.
Very good question. Okay, this is what. You want to have enough difference that it's interesting. I mean, if you had your clone for a partner, you'd be bored stiff, okay? On the other hand, there's no sense in getting traits that are so different that you just clash all the time. So there's a happy medium right there.
So it has to be a balance.
Yes. And I can give you an example. There's a trait called innate confidence. And people who have innate confidence think big, they plan big, they think in terms of, if they're opening a business, they think in terms of franchising it and really going to town. All right, the learned confident person is very good at details on what you need to know in order to be successful, because they're going to put the brakes on. So everything you want to do, your partner's going to put the brakes on, because they're going to say, you can't do that. It's too, you don't have enough information, or you don't have enough education, or whatever. And it's very difficult because it's a power thing. The person that is learned confidence, they're really great at negotiating. A lot of things they're really good at, but they clash very much because they think that the person who has the higher score is trying to make them do stuff, and they're not. They're just trying to solve a problem. And so there's miscommunication. There's different focus on different goals. It's really hard, but you can actually do okay with that. In fact, really well. And I've seen it work really well too. But both people have to be aware of what they're doing and know how to adjust their differences. And they have to say, okay, you're going to be in charge of this area, and I'm going to be in charge of this area. And that way, you each have your gifts, because both traits are very good, but they have different gifts. And so if you can learn how to pull those together and not fight each other over it, you've got a winner.
Oh wow, that's great. So you as a face reader, how do you think that has personally affected you with choosing mates?
Well, I would say that my first husband, it was a disaster.
Did you already do face reading?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. Nope, and I really didn't even know enough at that time to know how to bridge the differences, because I hadn't had that experience. I learned about face reading, but not to the extent that it really helped. And so the poor guy was just no, it didn't work.
So do you think that knowing how to read faces would definitely help you choose a better mate?
Oh yes. Well, I have a wonderful husband now. And I knew ahead of time what it was going to be like. I knew that he was going to tell me what to do and stuff if he wanted to, and he's going to hold on to things and never throw anything away and all that. And I already knew that ahead of time. So we just kind of had to work it out. And he used to tell me how to drive, and I got out of the car once and said, "Are you going to drive, or am I going to drive?" And he chose to let me drive, and so we kind of worked that out. And now it's really funny. It's so funny to listen to him, because we'll come up and he'll say, "Now, if you would like to turn here, or if you would like to go this way, you might like it," instead of saying, "Go this way, go that," trying to tell me what to do. So we've worked it out really good. He's just really nice and polite, and then I do whatever I want to do. And he still gets to put his 2 cents worth in.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. Sounds like we have a new service. Bring your boyfriend or girlfriend to Sharon. And she'll tell you if he's the right one.
Yeah, that's right. I've actually done a lot of premarital.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really helps. I mean, you save 20 years of trial and error.
Yeah.
Because you know what you're going to clash with, and sure enough, that's what happens. So then you know how to work it out. And if two people can work together, you can really have a good relationship. But it takes two. It really does take two. We have what I call coaching bits now that we're adding to our website, and there are actually 22 traits in a book that I have written, and that'll be out pretty soon. So you want to let me know if you're interested in that, because it shows all the traits and what they do and how you're going to be reacting with each other and so on. And then we have this little what we call coaching bits, and it's only $1.
Okay,
So,
wow.
yeah. And so in this one I've got all the 7 main traits out of the 22. I have the 7 main traits and how they will affect your relationship. They can either make or break a relationship. And the first one has to do with power struggles. The second one is your need for affection. The third one is how long is your fuse. The fourth one is your environmental needs. So like you might be allergic to each other physically, and that's not going to work. Okay, then mental needs. Some people need more mental challenges and so on. Then mental focus. And this is how you spend your time, your interests. So you have some things in common or not. And then who kind of wants to control and that kind of, some of that is there too. So that's all in it for $1. They can get this little.
Only $1?
Yeah.
For all those?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they get a little bit about each of those traits and how they affect you and so on. So
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So where can they get this at?
Go to the website
Nice.
and you'll find $1 coaching bits.
Okay, guys, this wraps up episode 1, and Sharon really touched on some great idealism stuff. And if you want to download the article, it is available on thepersonalitymanager.com. You can get it for only $1, right?
$1.
$1, and you can go ahead and read articles, and she's gonna keep updating those monthly. So stay tuned in. We have a new video coming out next week, and they're all based on love, celebrating the month of love.
All right.